Happy Halloween! I'm a witch. For some spooky Halloween content, I'm going to be ranking the 14 Power Rangers Halloween specials from worst to best. Pew pew pew! And credit where credit is due, this was not my idea. It was given to me by someone on Instagram. Thank you so much! To start off, I'd like to point out that holiday-themed episodes are very much a brain baby of Neo Saban. Obviously, it has something to do with his ideal of what a children's show should contain, which is why you get only 14 Halloween episodes in 30 seasons of Power Rangers. In fact, there are only 3 that do not fall under the Saban production era. That would be 1 from Disney and 2 from Hasbro. Which brings me to my second observation, that there is a notable difference in how Halloween episode production is handled between the Saban era and the Neo Saban era. In the Saban era, they write an entirely new Halloween-centered plot line, scramble for Sentai footage to cut in there, come up with all new costumes, and redress all of the sets to use them for a spooky atmosphere. Whereas in the Neo Saban era, the episodes are primarily flashbacks. They put the actors into Halloween costumes and come up with an incredibly short, simple plot that allows for a number of cutaways to previous episodes that they can just overdub. Which is kind of lame if you ask me. My little ragdoll heart would like to believe that this was done so they could give people time off for the holidays, but I'm almost certain that's not true because we're talking about Saban here. Which brings me to 13 and 14 on my list, basically tied for last place. We have Operation Overdrive's Ronnie on Empty and Dino Fury's Old Foes. These basically only count as Halloween episodes because it's Halloween in the episodes. They did not bother to write a Halloween-related plot. In Ronnie on Empty, Ronnie is once again captured by the Fear Cats, who once again try to drain her power because apparently this is an obsession of theirs. And then at the end of the episode, we see everyone at a big Halloween party in their costumes. In Old Foes, we see the return of Lord Zed, which is important again in Cosmic Fury. Bum bum bum! And at the end of the episode, we get to see everyone in their Halloween costumes. Pushing aside their non-Halloween-y plots, which is not what I'm here to discuss, I enjoy that Mac goes to the party dressed as a robot because he is one and doesn't know it, and Zato goes to the party dressed as a knight because he is/was a knight. But that's really all they have to offer. Okay, like I said, these Neo Saban episodes are very boring, so we're just gonna speed through. In 12th place, Ninja Steel's Grave Robber. They get stuck in a board game, very boring. In 11th place, Megaforce's Rising Spirits. A soothsayer with a crystal ball turns out to be the brother of a monster they killed. Also very boring. In 10th place, Dino Charge's Ghostess with the Mostess. The monsters replace a ranger at a costume party, and they have to tell stories from their past to prove they're the real them. I like the title of the episode, but they're just wearing boring sheet ghost costumes, like literally all of them. We do get to see 2 Kodas though. 9. Dino Charge Trick or Trial. The Rangers are tried as villains and have to reveal stories of their past to prove that they're not. This one does have some more fun costumes and a couple cute little character moments, and I do like the design of the jack-o'-lanterns who are the judges. 8. Ninja Steel's Monster Mix-Up, which does have some fun acting because monsters switch bodies with the Rangers and then put the Rangers on trial for crimes they've committed. And we get to see the actors playing monsters who have possessed them, which is really fun. 7 is Samurai's Party Monsters. The ghosts of all the monsters the Rangers have defeated throw a Halloween party where they get in an argument about who was wronged the most by the Power Rangers. And the only reason this one is so high on the list is because all the other flashback episodes are the perspective of the Rangers having a flashback, and I thought it was interesting to see the monsters being the ones who have the flashbacks. Other than being in the flashbacks, the Rangers aren't even in this episode. And taking us out of the flashback genre is number 6, Samurai's Trick or Treat, in which they actually filmed some new footage. The Rangers are trapped in a nightmare world. There's like a song and dance and some fun helmets and stuff, so at least it's interesting. Taking us into the Saban era, we have Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Life's a Masquerade in 5th place. This does have some really fun costume moments, little change sequence with Bulk and Skull where they're trying to figure out what costumes they want to wear, but ultimately the best thing about it is they take Alpha to a Halloween party, which I love because they're including him, and he can leave the command center because he looks like he's in a Halloween costume, which is genius, but he turns out to be a ladies' man, which is very fun. And in 4th place, we have Zed's Monster Mash, an episode where Zach, Jason, and Trini are very suspiciously missing. And one of the first conversations on screen is Billy and Kim talking about who's gonna get into the peace conference. drama. Being from season 2, this episode's just a little teeny tiny bit better written than season 1, even though it only has 3 rangers in it. I did really enjoy that while the Angel Grove High School students are organizing a chaperoning program for younger kids to go trick-or-treating, we see kids in the background dressed as the blue and pink Mighty Morphin Power Rangers for Halloween, which is adorable. Now, what you've all been waiting for, my top 3. The bronze medal goes to Beast Morphers with Hypnotic Halloween. In this episode, the characters are hypnotized to believe that they are the monsters they're dressed as, and as they run rampant through Grid Battle Force, Devin finds each of them telling them a story of their past to remind them of who they are and break the spell. This episode does follow the flashback pattern of the Neo Saban era, but the performances given by the actors make it well worth it. I mean, Jacqueline attacking a vending machine. The silver medal goes to Power Rangers Zeo. It came from Angel Grove. Of the Saban era Halloween episodes, this one has the biggest production. In this episode, Adam falls asleep while watching a horror movie marathon, and then has a nightmare where he must team up with Rita and Zed. Then he must go on an adventure to save his friends who have been brainwashed into thinking they are the monsters from the movie. The way they reuse all the sets but make them Halloweeny and spooky is inspired. For instance, when Adam first enters the dream world, it's just a bunch of really tilty camera angles as he walks around Angel Grove High, and there's weird splotchy light, and that's it, and it works. They also fill the juice bar with dry ice and skeletons in order to make it a vampire's lair. The werewolf scene is literally just them out in the woods. The mummy is clearly on that cave set that they use in like every other episode. And the mad scientist is just off to the corner in the command center. But they did put a lot of work into transforming the characters into Halloween monsters. And it's really awesome to see everyone's corny performances and experimentation with accents. Besides which, Adam has a ton of screen time, which is always a plus. And the gold medal goes to an episode that's honestly just one of my favorites, aside from it being a Halloween episode. Power Rangers Turbo, Carlos and the Count. Granted, it never specifically says it's Halloween. While it may not have all the impressive set decoration that Zeo had, this episode has personality. In this episode, Carlos is bitten by a vampire and then he becomes one. And that's literally it. That's the whole plot. It's just so classically done. Bulk and Skull see Carlos get bitten by a vampire, so they decide to become vampire hunters. Carlos shows up with a turtleneck and sunglasses and his hair all slicked back with like a leather jacket, like he's a bad boy now. And I'm like, dude, you are not in the Lost Boys, you're in Power Rangers.
Take off your glasses. Michael, look at me.
The light hurts my eyes.
The intensely dramatic music as Justin really quickly figures out that Carlos is a vampire based off of he doesn't like garlic and he's wearing sunglasses is amazing. Granted, he's being really awkward. I mean, this face is appropriate.
What?
They make the double entendre joke of, do you want to go grab a bite later? Not once, but twice.
Ready to grab a bite? After the blood drive, do you want to grab a bite?
They even have a classic scene where someone has their back turned and the vampire's creeping up on them while the audience screams from their seats, "Oh no, turn around, he's gonna bite you!" And someone shows up at the last minute and they turn. I don't know what else to say. This episode is just purely delightful from start to finish. And that's it. If you disagree with my rankings, please leave a comment telling me what order you would have put them in. Also, like and subscribe. And happy Halloween!